Let's see. Okay, it's about 30.
Yep, let's get started.
Yeah, I think, yeah, let's get started. So I will be started today's presentation. So yes, welcome everyone. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Napoleon Young. I am the solution engineer for the United Kingdom and the Africa market. And some of you may already seen it before, yeah, on the YouTube tutorial videos. Yes, and yeah, I'm starting my new role as a solution engineer now. It's glad to meet you guys again. And today we'll focus on the H30, how the H30T contribute in a case study for the police. And today, Jack from Heliguy will be the main presenter. He's the head of the training on from Heliguy. So Jack, it's your turn. Please go for it.
Excellent. So, like Napoleon said, we're going to be talking about the DJI Zenmuse H30 series. Just a little introduction from myself. My name is Jack Sharp. I'm the head of training at Heliguy. My responsibility is to ensure that we deliver the highest level of training to our enterprise clients throughout the UK and the globe. I've myself delivered closed course training as well. I'm also responsible for course development for Heliguy. My drone experience started off as a hobbyist, like most people, 14 years ago, then became a professional drone pilot, logging over 400 plus hours of flight time. In my spare time, I'm a drone photographer, featured in companies like the BBC, Forestry England, and Mountain Warehouse, which is an outdoor company. I'm also the company photographer and videography. I'm also a DJI certified engineer, and I've got a vast training background stemming from a long career in our National Health Service in the forensic mental health section. So, who are Heliguy? Heliguy are a top 5 drone solutions provider, offering worldwide supply and operational support. We've got almost 20 years of industrial experience, and since starting 5 years ago at Heliguy, we've increased our numbers, and we're now a strong team of 35 plus, including trainers, consultants, surveyors, accredited technicians, and regulatory specialists. We're the UK's only DJI S-level dealer, and since Heliguy has been a recognised assessment entity, we've trained over 7,500 candidates to get their qualifications. We've also got a tech team at Heliguy doing over 6,500 repairs, and they are also DJI trained technicians. We work with industry-leading partners, including DJI, XGrid, Share UAV, MLID, Terra, Esri, and also an organisation called Drone Control First Responder. We've recently became the first UK organisation to get granted permissions to operate the DJI dock system beyond visual line of sight in atypical airspace. So what we'll do is we'll talk about the H30 series, okay? So just a little overview of the H30 series. It is compatible with the Matrice 350 and the Matrice 300 as long as you are operating with the DJI RC Plus controller. It's got high integration. We'll discuss that a little bit later on. It's got advanced technologies as well, and again, we'll discuss that. Some of the big improvements, it's now got an IP55 rating, and an operational temperature of -20 up to 50 degrees Celsius. So going to the visible light cameras, we'll start off talking about the wide angle lens. It's increased its megapixels up to 48 megapixels now for better quality and resolution. You'll see there the CMOS sensor, 1/1.3 inch CMOS sensor, has been improved as well from the H20 series. And what you'll see with this sensor is that you'll get lower noise and more of a cleaner, sharper image when taking photos. Again, another improvement, the video resolution of the H30 now records at 3840 by 2160, improving the video quality over the DJI's H20 series. Some extra improvements to the H30 is that it has an aperture now of 1.7, which will improve the quality of your shots in low light conditions as well, for anyone operating during night or obviously low light conditions. The H30 focal length is equivalent to 24 millimeters, and it also supports the new night scene mode. Now going on to the zoom lens. The zoom lens has been improved again with an impressive 34 times optical zoom and nearly doubling its digital zoom from 200 of the H20 series up to 400 now on the H30 series. The zoom lens is shooting around about 40 megapixels with a 1/1.8-inch CMOS sensor. Again, video resolution same as the wide angle camera, shooting 3840 over 2160 at 30 frames per second. And this also shoots the night scene mode. So with the improved video resolution, that's going to be 4K resolution, so you're going to get better video quality. You also get longer video capture with the H30 series, shooting up to 2 hours on that. The H30 series supports both H.246 and H.265 codecs, and you also have the option now to shoot photo whilst recording, and that's going to be captured as in the resolution of 3840 over 2160. So just looking up for those who are interested in doing inspections or anything like that, obviously looking at this image, what we can see here is the aircraft is round about 20 to 25 meters away. It's zoomed right out, but what you'll see now when we zoom in with the full optical lens, which is times 34, you'll see there that the image quality of the object that we're looking at or inspecting, you can see quite a lot of detail. It's a sharp, clear image, which is what we want to see, and obviously what people need to see when they're out doing inspections, whether it be national infrastructure, whether you're working in emergency services or anything like that, looking for suspects or missing persons or anything like that. You're going to get that high quality image when you're zooming in with the optical zoom lens. And there's just a side-by-side comparison of both zoomed right out and then zoomed in with the full optical, and again 34 times zoom on that. Next, what we're going to show you is the maximum zoom. So going from the optical zoom into the digital zoom at times 400. You'll see there that we're a considerable distance away from the subject. And then once we zoom in there, that is at full zoom from a considerable distance away. And you'll notice the zoom quality with the digital lens is that the image quality, there's less noise in there for when you're inspecting anything. And it makes perfect payload for, again, the likes of emergency services, national infrastructure for inspections and more, whether it be wildlife conservation, you name it, this camera is going to kind of do the work for you that you need. Excellent. And again, just a side-by-side comparison, fully zoomed out to fully zoomed in at that times 400. And it's looking there at the back set of solar panels there. Cool. So what we'll do now is we'll move on to talk about the H30's laser rangefinder. Again, a significant improvement from the H20. You'll notice that it now goes to a 3,000 meter range, which is very impressive. I've had the pleasure of having this aircraft and payload out in the field testing all these gadgets and gizmos, and I'm very impressed. The laser rangefinder definitely weighs up to what it can do at that 3,000 meters. You're also going to get real-time display when using the laser rangefinder for the latitude and longitude coordinates as well. You've also got the function there of using the pinpoint to record targets, locations, and what we're going to do in the next slide, we'll show you a quick video of that in action. Excellent. You've also got the pinpoint synchronization, which you can use with Flight Hub 2. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to show you a short video of the laser rangefinder and the pinpoints in action.
Okay, so let's do a quick demonstration of the H30T's pinpoint switch feature. So we're going to identify a few targets for ourselves. So let's start with our vehicle. I'll turn the laser rangefinder on. That's at 266.5 meters. We're going to designate that as one pinpoint. We'll then locate our takeoff and landing area. You can see it's already marked already with a H to give us an indication. That's at 215. Let's mark that as another one. And then for a third, let's go the crossroads, which we drove in from before. That's at 706. Okay, pinpoints marked. Now what we can do is we can select which of our pinpoints we want to focus on. So let's start with the vehicle and then snap to view.
Viewing pinpoint.
Move back over to where we were.
Viewing pinpoint.
And finally, back to the crossroads. Regardless of the range, drop that point. Snap.
Excellent. So what you see Bradley using the pinpoint feature, moving from point to point, designating them markers, and how he's doing that on the RC Plus. You've got your D-pad down in the bottom left-hand side. You'll be able to toggle that left and right, and that will switch from pinpoint to pinpoint. No more do you have to switch into the map, select the pinpoint to go to that subject. DJI's made it very, very quick to switch subjects, again, to whether you're doing it in inspection work or you're out in the field with emergency services. So the next video that we're going to do is we're just going to show you the H30's laser rangefinder again, but this time with the Smart Track feature.
Okay, just doing a test of the H30T's active track capabilities. So let's first have a look at the range. Switch on the laser rangefinder. We're looking at just over 1,000 meters there. I'll get zoomed in a little bit more. So you see there. Now let's switch on active track and find a vehicle to follow. Let's go for that one at the back there. Target identified, selected, and we let the payload work its magic. You can adjust zoom whilst we do this. Tracking it throughout the trees. Reacquiring the second the obstructions pass. And continuing.
Excellent. So you can see that the laser rangefinder worked very, very well, especially with the Smart Track feature. You're going to get that accurate latitude, longitude, and decimal format, as well as the above sea level as well. Now, a good thing about the laser rangefinder is that it will track a subject, and as you've seen there, it went behind some bushes. It lost it for a second. As soon as it came in the open, the camera's brain is automatically tracking the subject, moving along with it, and it will find that subject again. It is a good feature. However, with good camera skills and the Smart Track, you should never ever lose a subject. And again, that's been put into practice by myself and my team of instructors. And when we're out in the field with any emergency services or inspection operatives, we can teach them these techniques. Again, with good camera skills and good Smart Track skills, you're going to be able to keep a subject as long as possible. Excellent.
Yeah, I want to also comment on the Smart Track here. So although Smart Track is already supported since the H30 series, but the computing power is much enhanced. So you can see when the car is driving, sometimes it may get blocked by some trees or other cars. And using H30T, you will find out that it can easily to track back the target once it goes out from the shadows or something like that. So that's something get enhanced on the H30 series. But still, the drone won't automatically follow the target, because if the drone fly by itself, it's very dangerous. So by default, it will stay there and only use the visible camera to zoom in and zoom in if you want to follow the target. So first thing, you need to make sure that the air is safe, and then you can push the stick to manually follow the target. Okay.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Napoleon. I think that was just my poor English there. When I said the drone would move, I think I meant the payload would move as well, just to track the subject. The aircraft shall stay stationary, so don't worry about your aircraft randomly flying off or anything like that. So what we'll discuss next is the enhanced night vision. It supports full color night vision on both the zoom and the wide angle lens. It will automatically switch to the low light mode in low light conditions. As long as you've activated that, you can also have that switched off, or you can have it switched on permanently within the settings of your DJI RC Plus controller. And then, as you can see here, just in normal mode, we'll just play a quick video for you. Oops. So the one on the left is just in normal mode, and then as soon as you activate that full color night vision, you'll see the area is more illuminated for when obviously out looking for the likes of missing persons and things like that. Next, we'll discuss the IR illumination. It supports black and white night vision and NIR illumination. When the auxiliary light is enabled, the zoom camera benefits from this additional NIR illumination. In completely dark or extremely dim environments, the NIR auxiliary light can be enabled to see subjects more clearly, and we'll just witness that now in the short video that I'm about to play. So a short video, but you can see there, you can clearly see the subject that the drone's out looking for, making it ideal for mountain rescue, search and rescue operations, and jobs like that.
Yeah, Jack, I can also share a little bit more about the night sim mode here, because when people see on the website or other
Yeah,
training, they keep hearing full color, black and white, and NIR. They can easily get confused. But I think we can summarize the things like this. So it really depending on how dark the environment is. If it is just starting to getting dark, you can go with the level 1, which is the full color night scene mode. So all the details will keep sharp, and also the colors will still be remained. But if the environment goes darker, for example, the moon doesn't you don't get much moonlight, you can try to turn on the black and white view. So the black and white view is also available on both drones, on the H30 series. So when you activate the black and white, actually the filter is getting removed, which means the camera is letting more radio inside the camera. So, but this too much radio can be a little bit noise when we try to showing you the color. So that's why we keep it black and white, but we can let you see more clear as a black and white night vision. And then you can go to the highest level. You can say level 3, when it's totally dark. For example, like some wild forest, and it's totally black. At this stage, even black and white night vision cannot work. So in this case, you can turn on the NIR illumination. It is a NIR light, which means near infrared light. The light cannot be seen by human eyes, but from the camera, it can capture the target. So it's very useful. For example, if you want to find some animals at night, or for the place, if you want to follow some suspect, you don't want him to notice, this is also a very good tool. So you can just set it as level 1, 2, 3. It will be more easier for you to understand, and you can easy to choose which tool to use.
Excellent. Thank you very
Okay,
much for that,
back to you,
Napoleon.
Jack.
Much greatly appreciated. So what we'll do now is we'll just go through the thermal sensor. We'll show you some of the key points and talk about them. The thermal sensor, the resolution has been improved again to 1280 to 1024 photo resolution, and the same in 30 frames per second in video resolution as well. Now, the resolution on this camera, it is a raw resolution, so you're going to get a greater spot temperature when you are looking at obviously your heat source. You're going to get greater detail in that. With the photo imagery, it can be exported into the DJI's thermal software and also third-party solutions as well for a more detailed spot temperature. What you're going to find if you have updated your H30T to the latest firmware as well, you're going to notice the zoom feature is now you can zoom in and out with the thermal sensor. As previous versions only allowed you to zoom in onto a feature until it's reached its maximum zoom, and then what you'll find is that the zoom then goes straight back to ×2 zoom before you would then have to go in. With this new firmware update, you're able to zoom in and out with the thermal sensor now. So you've also got the simultaneous zoom. Now, when you are using the side-by-side view on the DJI RC Plus, you'll have a button which looks like a crossed link chain. Once you've pressed that, what it's going to do is it's going to activate both the zoom camera and the thermal sensor camera. When you're zooming in, you're going to be zooming in on both of the sensors. So you're going to be able to get that zoom on the normal camera and on the thermal camera for whatever you're looking at whilst you're out on operations as well. Cool. So you've got 3 infrared gain modes. Okay, you've got high for precise temperature measurements, low gain for a wider range, and a new high res mode for monitoring small temperatures. So what the high gain mode is going to get you better temperature measurements. The benefits of the low gain, for example, if a fire department has been out and they have put out a fire, what the low gain sensor is going to do is it's going to find heat sources that are potentially left using the thermal sensor. This will be on, say, fires that have been extinguished. It also has the benefit as well to penetrate through smoke during things like forest fires, building fires. You're going to be able to look through that smoke and see the heat signatures that the thermal sensor is picking up as well. With the high res
Yes, sorry,
mode,
Jack. You mentioned that high res supports temperature, but just let me clarify there. So high res mode, you cannot measure the temperature, but the details will be a little bit clearer for you to view. Yeah, that's the main difference.
excellent. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah,
I was just going to go on to the high res mode again, saying that
yeah,
it'll assist better for search and rescue operations due to the better image quality and the high resolution that you're going to get through that high res mode. This is through an enhanced AI technology that DJI have produced. By default, you'll see there that it can recognize, with the infrared density filter, you're going to be able to see temperatures up from as low as -20 to 16,000 Celsius. Now, this is with the density filter on there. By default, the thermal sensor will limit itself and try and protect itself when the sensor is looking at something with such a heat source. For example, you may have noticed if you've been flying your aircraft and you've accidentally pointed at the sun, you'll notice that the sensor will protect itself so there's no damage to that. With the IR density filter, this is going to allow you to monitor higher temperatures when it's attached to the H30 series, or H30T, should I say. So some of the smart features that the H30 series has, you've now got a pre-recording feature on there. What that's going to do is it's going to retain that footage, and it's going to allow you to record from 10 to 15 or even up to 30 seconds before you actually start recording it properly. And this feature is available on the wide and the zoom and the thermal sensor as well. So although not a smart feature, the encryption, this allows better protection for sensitive data for our emergency services and organisations. With this, you're going to have more secure data when out operating in the field. The smart capture. So with the smart capture, what that's going to do, once you've took an image, the intelligent algorithm, what it's going to do is it's going to enhance the brightness and dynamic range of your image quality, giving you a better quality end product after you've taken the picture. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a little short video next, just showing you how it does this. So you'll see this image here. It's quite dark, not a lot of detail, but then once we play the video and you see the algorithm kick in, you're going to see there, it's brightened it up. You get a lot of detail in there, ideal for what you want to do, whether it be inspections or out there in the field, doing any kind of emergency operation.
Yeah, I really want to also comment on this because when we announced this smart capture, I think it was originally from the H30 because that was the first generation. So some users may feel it will be a little bit laggy to take about 1 second, but with the newer product, we keep to minimum the time. It will keep shooting faster and faster. So now, if you don't need to take a quick interval shot, by default for inspection purpose, I really encourage you to use this the smart capture feature by default. Yeah, the quality is quite good.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Napoleon. A couple of other smart features. You've got cloud information sync. Now, what that's going to do is you're going to be able to check live views from the H30 series whilst it's up in the air through the cloud platform using the DJI Flight Hub software. You've also got electronic dehazing as well, which is a new feature. This is going to enhance the image quality when you are flying in conditions such as fog or high atmospheric humidity. And again, we've just got a short video just to show you this in action. So you can see there with the image, it's quite cloudy, a lot of fog there, not very good quality. But then once you activate that feature, you'll see there it makes it a lot clearer when you're out in the field doing operations. Cool. So we'll do a little bit of a comparison next when we're talking about the H30 series, the H20 series, and the H20N as well. So you'll see there's been substantial upgrades for the H30. It offers upgrades to the offers more upgrades to the H20 series. Sorry, and the H30 is a hybrid of both the H20T and the H20N. You've got more enhanced visual cameras, again shooting at the 400 times zoom, which doubles the capability of the H20 and the H20T. You've got an extended laser rangefinder, which we discussed earlier, going up to 3,000 meters and offers that extended distance more than 50% from its predecessor. You've got better night vision using the H30 series, as it now supports that full color and black and white, and both have the NIR auxiliary light on there as well. It's got a more powerful infrared sensor, temperature measurement capabilities, and more high resolution on that thermal camera. And obviously the smart operations, which we've just discussed, such as smart capture, electronic dehazing, and video foreground stabilization, which again, I've had it out in the field testing it. And once you're using that zoom lens, the stabilization on that camera is fantastic. It really does work. So when you're out there doing any kind of operation, you know that you're going to get nice steady footage as well. So just a little bit of a table looking at the comparisons when you're looking at all of the different from the H30 series to the H20N. You'll see there, looking at the H30, a big improvement on both the sensors, CMOS sensors, and the megapixels that you're going to be getting when shooting with these cameras. You've got the zoom lens. Again, if you just look along the table, you'll see that there's been a significant improvement going up to that 34 times hybrid optical zoom with a maximum zoom capability of 400 times. Again, I'm just going to keep saying there's been improvements because that's all there's been on the H30 series. H30 series on the thermal, you've got 1280 and 1024 resolution, max zoom range of 32 times digital zoom. And again, the ranges with that density filter on there, you're going to be getting -20 up to 16,000 whilst using the IR filter, not density filter, my bad. Cool, you'll see now looking at the night vision, like we've discussed, we're getting that full color black and white. We're going to be able to shoot that at 25, 15 and 5 frames per second, and with that NIR illumination as well. Laser rangefinder going up to that impressive 3,000 meters. If you look just there at the H20 and the H20N, they only go up to that 1,200 meters, which has been a massive improvement. And again, what we always like to see with DJI products is that the IP level has gone up to now an IP54 level. Going back, if you're looking at the H20 and the H20N, it was an IP44 rating. So you're going to get more capabilities and be able to operate in stronger weather conditions in the rain when you're operating as well. So what we're just going to look at now is some of the comparisons. Myself and my team of instructors went out in the field and tested the H20 and the H30T and did a bit of a comparison. So you can see there at 300 meters from the target, with the H20 it's full zoom. You can see there it's a little bit noisy, and then looking at the comparison from the H30 at 400 times zoom, nice crystal clear. You can read that registration plate so clearly. So when you're out in the field and you're doing anything like that, you know you're going to get high quality imagery using the H30T as well. You're also going to have that benefit as well with the smart capture as well. That'll obviously brighten up the image as well using AI technology. And then getting a little bit closer to the target.
You can also see the, sorry to interrupt here. You can also see the noise is a little bit less on the right. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's quite all right. Feel free to interrupt anytime you like.
Yeah,
you can see. Looking at the H30, a lot less noise with the zoom camera, and that's from a distance of 250 meters from the target there. Comparison from the zoom, you can see there with the thermal zoom test, the one on the left is the H30T, one on the right is the H20T, and you can see there a massive improvement on image quality when you're looking there at the object, which is a vehicle. And again, just using a different color palette there, the H30T has 10 color palettes, so you can change depending on the operation that you're doing. And obviously you can see there, you can see very, very clearly compared to the H20T there on the right. So use cases, who is going to be able to use the H30 series and who is it going to benefit? You're asking yourselves, no doubt. It is going to benefit our public safety, our emergency services in the UK and around the world when using this payload. It's got fantastic zoom capabilities. It's got good smart track, all the features that emergency services like. You've got the search and rescue teams as well, who are going to be using this, using the thermal, using the IR auxiliary light to try and find missing persons and things like that up in the hills. Security patrols are going to benefit from using this payload when they're doing things like perimeter checks or anything like that. Critical infrastructure inspections, gone are the days where you need to get very, very close to the subject that you're inspecting. You're going to be able to have a good safe distance away from the infrastructure that you're actually inspecting, and you're going to be able to get very clear image quality, video quality with using the H30T. Maritime, so a good feature as well the H30 has, it has the capability not only to, when you're using Smart Track, to recognize persons, vehicles, it now has the capability to recognize vessels as well. So anyone operating out at sea, or border patrols, anything like that, any boats or anything like that, the H30T is going to pick that craft up when with the Smart Track activated. You've got forestry management, and you've also got general mapping. The aircraft and the payload, when doing general mapping operations, you are going to be able to get good quality mapping operations, whether it be 2D, 3D. The H30 series is going to be able to produce general mapping for organizations wanting to use that feature. Excellent. Anything to add there, Napoleon?
Sorry, yeah, it's good from my side. We can go for the actual case sharing. Yes.
Excellent, cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the case study when Devon and Cornwall Police were out at the Boardmasters Festival. We're just going to have a quick look at some of the things that these guys were doing out in the field for this event. So just a quick introduction, Devon and Cornwall Police deployed the H30 Festival in the UK. This is the Boardmasters, this was a single largest deployment for the team each year, and this year is held on a yearly basis, and it holds up to 60,000 people at the event. So having the DJI M350 with the H30T there is going to allow oversight of the festival. The event ran into the evening. So what you'll notice is that the H30T's thermal and night vision capabilities enabled round-the-clock coverage of the festival as well. So the H30T was deployed to support ground units, identifying incidents that were going on during the festival so that they could intervene with the people on the ground. This live footage was also streamed to the organisers to enhance situational awareness, to help coordinate data and stuff like that as well. The event organisers described the drone as an invaluable tool for its capabilities during the event to allow officers to patrol and monitor things that were going on at the Boardmasters Festival as well. I'm just going to pause there because I believe Napoleon now has a short video to play for you guys, which he'll start presenting shortly.
Yes, okay. Let me play the first video clip here. Okay, I'm now going to play it.
Having the police support us with crowd management and with the use of the drone, yeah, I think FIRS is kind of an invaluable tool. We have our crowd safety managers, our health and safety team, and also our control room commanders. They use it to help deploy resource. We move around stewarding, security, but also allows us to make sure that we see the problem evolving and allows us to get ahead of the problem.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Excellent.
the first part.
Thank you very much for that, Napoleon. Oh.
Yeah, Jack, you need to share back the screen. Thank you.
I'll just share my screen again.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just loading up now. There we go. So the DJI H30T at the Boardmasters Festival, the H30T, core camera modules were used during the festival. The wide-angle lens provided an overview of crowd and traffic movement throughout the day and throughout the night during the festival, whereas the zoom camera was able to provide detailed close-up observations, all the while the drone maintaining that position from afar. again, like I spoke about earlier, gone are the days where you need to be up close and personal with a drone. You're going to be able to be a considerable distance away, especially using the H30T, and you're going to be able to still get that image quality that you need. The thermal and night vision also provided operational support in low light conditions to provide support for the officers and the organisers during the festival. So again, talking about the IP rating, it has been improved like we've just discussed. And again, operating aircrafts near coastal environments, you're going to get that spray of water and things like that from time to time. Again, the aircraft and the payload are IP rated to protect, obviously, from any water ingress or solid ingress during flight. Excellent. Cool. So with the M350 RTK, it can carry the H30T, but another good feature of the M350 and the M300 is that you're going to be able to carry multiple payloads to whether it be a spotlight, whether it be a speaker, and obviously during Boardmasters Festival, they're going to want different payloads for different types of operations, but the main focus is definitely the H30T and its capabilities during the festival as well.
Okay, speaking of the spotlight, so I'm not going to share a lot, but please stay tuned that DJI may announce something related very soon. So yeah, please stay tuned for that. I can't say more here. Thank you. Go on, Jack. Yeah, I think I can play the video here,
Yeah,
right?
what I'd like, yes,
Yeah.
please, if you don't mind, Napoleon.
Yes. Okay. Okay, police footage. Okay.
Our focus is on the Watergate Bay site, which is also where the camping is held. It's a very large festival which does run into the nighttime hours. So it's really important for our capability to be good in both daylight and in night.
It's a little
So
bit lagged from
thermal
my side. How
capability,
is it
enhanced
on
night
your
vision capabilities are all really important to our operations. Our primary role is we are supporting the ground units with an air support capability. So we are able to give them the wide overview of the movements of crowds, the traffic management, and also response to individual incidents across the footprint and beyond.
Is the video playing well? Okay. Yes, because maybe some of you is having some connection issues, but I have listed the full video on the chat box, and later feel free to watch the whole video on YouTube. Thank you. Yes, please go on, Jack.
And I'm sure you'll all oops, sorry, Napoleon.
Yes, I just said that some of us may having some connection issue, cannot view the whole video, so they can check the chat box. I have listed the video link on the chat box, so later you can view the full one.
Excellent. Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you very much for that,
please go on.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, what does the future hold? So, Police Sergeant Chris Lindsay from Devon and Cornwall Police has mentioned that from the Forces drone unit, says that Drone in a Box has a massive role to play for the future of drone operations for that constabulary. Says it will be a fantastic tool to help keep our public safe, and also that the new DJI Dock 3, DJI's first dock to support on more to get support on vehicles for deployments, is ideal as a drone first responder. Heliguy is also a drone dock partner. That is the end of the slide. Thank you very much, everyone. Feel free to ask any questions. Myself and Napoleon will do our best to answer them as best as we can. So we'll just take a look at them. Napoleon, I believe you have a little bit to discuss before.
Yes, yes, because from my side, I will just share some extra tips when you use the H30T, because sometimes we keep asking the temperature measurement is not so accurate, and there's a lot of parameters that can affect this temperature measurement. So here I would like to share 2 tips for you guys. So the first one is when you turn on the IR view on the upper right advanced settings, you can see this new temperature measurement setting page. I think not so many of you have go inside, but you can see the emissivity, distance, and the environment humidity inside. And the first one, emissivity of the target, affects the accuracy most. So how can you set this number? The number you can set from 0 to 1. So for the for example, for the smooth metals, for example, you're doing some inspections for some metals or infrastructure, you can set a lower value. If you use it for vegetation or for human, you can set a higher value. And here is a common material of the emissivity, so you can easily to Google and find something like that. So uh, basically is before each thermal mission, if you want to check the temperature, you can change the parameters here, and the result will be much accurate. So this is the first tip I would like to share. So the second thing is we now allow you to do the IR temperature calibration. So to do this, you need to prepare 3 black bodies from low, medium, and high temperature. For example, 20, 50, and 150, something like that. So the black bodies is something that have a stable temperature. If you don't know what a black body is, maybe this feature is not designed for you. Okay, so if you click the IR temperature calibration on the list, it will go through you a process, and if you follow the process, you can just finish the calibration. But allowing to do this doesn't mean you have to do it every month, every week, something like that. So I asked our R&D team, they said most users, they probably don't never have to use this feature unless, for example, if you look at some overheat object, for example, you accidentally look at the sun for a long time or something like that, maybe the accuracy is a little bit affected. So if something like this happen, you can do this calibration. And the last thing is this process, we strongly recommend you to do it under the professional guidance. So yeah, this is the 2 main key points I want to share with you. The first one is the temperature parameters, and the second one is you can do the calibration. Okay, so I think we can go back to the Q&A part. If you have some questions regarding today's topic, for example, you can, yeah, for Heliguy and for me, and about the products, as I said at the very beginning, you can ask questions regarding H30T, of course, but you can also ask about some other products, drones, or recently announced, like the Zenmuse H30T, of course, but the Matrice 4 series, and also the Dock 3. So these are the newest announced products. And besides that, that's hardware. But for the software part, we recently announced that the Flight Hub 2 on-premises version, which is frequently asked, especially for some police department, they want to get control of their own data. So this is also something we are pushing. We are starting doing some tests in several countries. So yeah, please stay tuned for more information about that. So yeah, welcome to ask any questions. And I have got several from the very beginning, and I would like to answer them. So okay, he asked me that does the H30 series use AI to enhance the image quality? Actually, as I answered, when you use the thermal camera, by default the resolution is high enough. We don't need to double it. But if you zoom in more than 5 times, as you know, it is one camera and the resolution is relatively low. So if you zoom in 5 times or above, we will activate the super resolution feature, which will eventually um, keep the same resolution, which means when you zoom in 5 times further, we will enhance the thermal image and video quality. So this is something we did for the AI enhancement. But other than that, we just use the traditional way to improve the video quality. Yes. And someone is also asking that I think it's about a smart track that does we depending on the drone's hardware or require a internet connection. So yeah, we can answer that the smart track feature it is completely based on the drone itself. You don't need to have any internet connection. It's not even based on the RC. It's based on the drone. So it's very fast to do this compute. Even from starting from the Matrix 4 series, we have opened the AI computing power for some third-party models. So our ecosystem partners, they can train their own models. For example, they can train their model to identify cracks, to count the animals, or just to identify any target they want. And that model, after it's trained, it can distribute it on the drone, and the drone can do the same thing, very similar to the smart track. So yeah, most of the feature and computing power is based on the drone itself. Okay. And also I've get asked the question is when we use the maximum zoom, the zoom camera, which is 400 times, he's shared with us. Also, we also share you the photos that we have good details. But actually, it really depends on the air quality, because sometimes if the air is not good, you cannot see it very clearly. But the raw power is much improved compared to the previous generation. Yes, that's right. Okay. Do you have any other questions regarding the H30 series, M350, or other DJI Enterprise drones? Or you have some questions for Heliguy? You're welcome to ask.
Yes, by all means, feel free to fire any questions you've got for myself at Heliguy. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you've got. And again, like Napoleon said, anything to do with any aircraft payload, even dock or anything like that, fire a question over. Me and Napoleon will be happy to answer any questions that you've got.
Yeah. I also want to mention that is very grateful for us that Heliguy is doing the BVLOS process for the dock series. And also from our side, some of you, if you follow the DJI Enterprise the recently years, you can find out that for the first generation of DJI dock, we firstly announced it in China mainland, and for the overseas market, we announced it like half year later. and that's not a very it's not a very good experience for our customer. And starting from the dog 2, we announced after China like 3 months later, a little bit improved, but still not ideal. And now, as you can see, for the dog 3, we actually can announce it at the same time for both China and overseas market. So yeah, we pay a visit to many dealers and many end users, and we hear all the feedbacks from you that we don't want to sell the previous generation, and you already announced the next generation in China. So we do try our best to do some improvements. So yes, just keep sending us feedback. You can speak to Heliguy, you can also speak to DJI. We will keep collecting and try to improve ourselves. Okay, I got another question
We've
asking
got a
that is
question
the
there
H30T.
from Garrett.
Yeah,
So yeah, just
yes.
looking at a question asking if the H30T is being used for inspection for solar panels, solar farms, to check cells and things like that. Yes, I can say that it definitely is, and use of the thermal camera as well. With the image quality that you're going to get, you are going to be able to see the damaged cells in the solar panels when doing inspection. So yes, I can answer that. Yes, they are. It is being used to do inspection work on solar farms.
Yes, and last year, when doing a dealer summit, there are also dealers asked me one question about the H30T. He told me that your resolution is so high. I can't believe you. Do you use AI to to double the resolution and to cheat? And I answered him, no, that's the raw resolution. And yeah, he's really impressed. And as you can see, for the solar inspection, the doubled resolution on the thermal camera is really helping to identify the cracks and the fault. So combined with the third-party analyze system, it's really impressive. Yes. Okay. So because we have another sharing event like very soon, so we have to end this now. So thank you all for attending today's, and also thanks Jack for sharing all of this. So the whole video will be shared to the YouTube later. Thank you all for joining today's webinar. Let's keep connected.
Excellent.
Thank you
Thank you very
guys.
much again, Napoleon, for inviting me. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening to us. Bye now.
Goodbye.